Okay. Let's continue looking at the text. We're on page 8. Okay. So this morning we said this is the second 7-branch offering here, starting page 8. And it's a longer version than the previous one. So again, the first branch is homage. So that goes from the beginning, from Jinie Suda, with body, speech, and mind, I pay homage. So there's 4 sentences. So it goes to the second line until the first phrase, 旅长啊, 以堂为差给我. So until there. The second branch, the branch of offering, begins from the second phrase. Sangbo jebe mongnam topdaki. So in English, it will be through the powers of this aspiration to excellent conduct. So that's the second branch, the offering. And that's a longer section dedicated to the second branch, because there's various offerings that you make and things like that. So that goes to page 10, line 3, second phrase, until there. In English, it's up to the end of the second line. I pay homage and present offerings to all victors. So that's the end of the second branch. Third branch in Tibetan, it begins from the very last phrase of this page, page 10. A branch of confession, the cha shedang dimu wangini, from there. In English, it begins from the last line of this page. I confess individually all harmful actions I have done. So, and then the fourth branch, rejoicing, begins from page 11, the next page, line 2. 秋居教化滚荡上业色，秋居教化滚荡上业色, rejoicing. And in English, it is line 1, the middle line. I rejoice in all the merit of all the victors of the 10 directions, and so on. Fifth branch, requesting to turn the Dharma wheel. In Tibetan, that begins from the third line, beginning of the third line. Kangnam choju chiden jema da. So that is the beginning in Tibetan, and in English translation, also same line, the third line. I exhort all the lambs of the 10 directions who have attained passionless Buddhahood. Passionless is kind of a strange word here. In Tibetan, it is ma-cha. Ma-cha, ma is a negation, cha. It can mean either passion or attachment. So passionless, which just means non-attachment or non-fixation, maybe, rather than passionless. Okay, and then page 12, next page, the sixth branch, the branch of requesting to abide in the world, and not, in other words, not to pass into nirvana, is begins from line 1, second phrase, 两年打顿行歇得到了, from there. And in English, it's the same line, beginning of the first line. With palms fully joined, I request those wishing to demonstrate passing into nirvana, and so on. The seventh branch is the second line, last phrase. cha ca wa dang, chi jing xia ba dang. That's dedication. In English, it's also the second line, the middle of the line. It says, to awakening, I dedicate all virtue, however slight, and so on. So those are the 7 branches that you'll be chanting in Green Tara. And all this is done with joined palms, the Anjali or prayer mudra. Next comes an offering, the offering of mandala. Mandala, it can have several different meanings. A mandala can be, for example, the deity's mandala, which means the deity and the palace that the deity abides in, and then the outer environment. All that is called the deity's mandala. And it also can mean the mandala that you set up on the shrine to do a puja, which represents the deity's actual mandala, and with the additional offerings, in the front and so on. That's also called the mandala. And then there's also the painted mandala or sand mandala, the same meaning, you using a paint or sand to create, a flat 2-dimensional surface that represents the deity's mandala, starting from the deity itself, which is represented usually by a C syllable or some objects. And then there's the palace with 4 doors. And then outside of that, there's like a protection circle. And then outside of that, sometimes there is depiction of charnel ground and things like that. That's also called a mandala. Here, the mandala is used to mean the entire existence, all the universes. So you offer the entire existence, be it galaxies or universes, anyway, anything that exists at all, everything in the entire existence that is worthy of offering. You offer all of it, and that's called a mandala offering. So here on page 13, you begin the mandala by saying Om Ah Hum, and so you chant the liturgy at the same time using your mental thought, or what we call visualization, to think that you're not just offering a few grains of rice in your palm, or even more elaborately, the 3-tier mandala that's set up on the shrine. More than that, these are used only as a support, like I said this morning, as a support for your practice and for your visualization. The practice, the real true essence and core of the practice happens in your mind. So you definitely need to do the visualization when you do the mandala offering. And then it's supported by what's offered on the shrine, or what's offered on your table, such as the container of rice, which you're gonna use for your offering. You can use a small amount of rice and put it in both palms, and then you form a mandala mudra, which is like this. It's hard to explain. Someone will need to demonstrate it. Your neighbors, if they know how to do it. It's like this. I don't know how to explain it, because it's better to see it than to explain. Okay. So basically the ring fingers are straight up, back to back. And the index fingers are holding on to the crossed middle fingers. And the thumbs are pressing down on the crossed little fingers. So it's like this. Okay. So the ring fingers that are straight up represent Mount Meru, which is the center of the universe, or center of a world. We can say it's a universe or galaxy, whatever. And the other, this, this, and this. These four represent the four continents. As they surround the Mount Meru. So the mudra represents one world, and you think that you're offering not just one world, but infinite worlds that exist in the entire existence to principally the 21 taras, and of course, the surrounding, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that there are. And so the liturgy says, I continually and respectfully offer the three jewels, the three roots. The three jewels, right? The three roots are the gurus, the idams, or the deities, and the Dharma protectors, or in Sanskrit, the Dhammapalas. And these are the three roots because the gurus are the source of blessing, and the idams, or the deities, are the source of accomplishment, and the protectors, the Dharma protectors, or the Dharmapalas, are the source of activity. So these three roots are also your object of offering. And you say, in the ocean of Dharma protectors and gods of wealth, all the bodies, possessions, and virtues of myself and limitless sentient beings, together with the four continents, you offer all of them the supreme mountain, which is Mount Meru, the sun and moon, and the inconceivable wealth of gods and humans, and continually emanate its vast clouds of Samantabhadra offerings. Samantabhadra is a bodhisattva who is known for making infinite offerings, the finest infinite offerings. So you think that when you make the offering in your mind, and you might think, well, how do I know what there are in all the universes? What the finest things are. I've never seen them and cannot imagine what they look like or what they even are. What's the object? It doesn't matter. You don't need to know all of them. It's impossible to know all of them. All you need to do is mentally think, whatever there are, the best is what I offer. You don't have to visually think of the object because it's impossible that you know what they look like. And the things that we do know, such as nice flowers, nice houses, nice cars, motorcycles, whatever, these are actually compared what they have in the heavenly realms, in the God's realms, are like garbage, right? So, but this is what we know, so it's okay to think of them. But we can only think of one or two things, or one or two in quantity and in variety. So, it's very limited, even if we try to think of a few things. So, and then you either forget other good things, or you can't even imagine what they like or what they are. So it's better, in my opinion, to just think of all the good things, the best things that there are, that exists. And that's what you offer, rather than think of one or two things. Okay, so then finally we have this mantra at the end of the page. Om Guru Dewa Dagini Sawa Rana Mandala Buddha Mega Ahom. That's the mandala offering mantra. So you hold that mandala mudra for this entire page until the very end, until the mantra here. Okay. Next page, page 14. Starting from Namo Sangye Chedan Gendundang and so on. So again, there's let's look at the translation to know the meaning. Buddhas, Dharma, Sangha, Gurus, Idams, Dakinis, Dharma protectors, God of wealth, Lords of Dharma. You display the nature of unimpeded diversity from within the essence of one wisdom. So even though, there are different appearances, such as the gurus, as the deities, and the doggies and protectors, all different appearances. But here it says there's simply a display, a variety of display from that one essence, and that one essence is one wisdom. They all have the same wisdom, which is that one essence. And that one essence is simply your own mind, the essence of your own mind is that essence as well. It's never separate from that essence. So in other words, the essence of your mind and the essence of all the Buddhas and the essence of entire universe, the existence, is one. Is one. And like I said last night, that essence is, even though we say is one, we're simply saying they're not separate. They're not two things. But then that essence itself is not one, is not two, is not multiple, and is not zero. And you cannot say that it is this or it is that. That's how we should understand it, okay? Your compassion and activity are the most excellent. So we're referring to the three roots and the three jewels. You are refuge and protectors of all beings. So from that essence, that inexpressible essence, which we call one wisdom, there appear all these, Buddhas and deities and protectors that are there to protect all beings and give refuge. You are the embodiment of wisdom and kindness. We're referring now to particularly the Taras, embodiment of wisdom and kindness. I pay homage to you from my heart and go to you for refuge. I offer you my body and my possessions. So the mandala offering, not only do you offer external things, everything that is good and worthy of offering in all the universes, you also offer yourself, your own body, your possessions, your merit, everything that you possess. That's also part of the mandala offering. That's why it says, I offer you my body and my possessions. And I pray that you will continually protect me and limitless sentient beings with your compassion, engulf us with your splendor. This is a literal translation of bless me. So sickness and harm may be passed away, and virtually vitality and merit may flourish. And so all of our wishes, without exception, may be fulfilled in accordance with the Dharma. So this is a supplication, an offering, and yeah, pretty much aspirations in this section, in these 2 pages. And you chant this section with joined palms as well. Next, page 16, presenting offerings 3 times to Jezuma in particular, and writing of the Tantra of Praise. Actually, we don't do it 3 times. Anyway, next is, this is a little, I don't know why it says that in a small print at the beginning of page 16, presenting offering 3 times, which is not done. And recitation of the Tantra of Praise, which is not done either. So actually the next section, what it really is invitation of wisdom deities. Okay. I don't know if there's a mistake in.
Because there's 3 sets of offerings, but they put that, it's like a title before the whole section. But It starts with the visualization.
It could be. It could be. Yeah, it's not, it's coming later. But okay, you can say, but all that 3 times of offering and praise will happen after you've invited the wisdom deities and dissolve them into the frontal deities. You can think of it that way. Anyway, so you may be saying, what's happening here? Okay, so we already have the, 21 taras in front of you, right? In additionally, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And now you're going to, first of all, up to now, the test has not mentioned what you think of yourself as. It's whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You can think of yourself as just this body and this whatever you call yourself as, or you can think of yourself as maybe Tara already, it doesn't say. So most likely just out of habit, we'll probably think we're just this body, this me, up to this point. But starting from this point, you're going to transform your concept, your idea of who you are, whatever you think you are, up to this point. Transform and change that concept into the concept that I am Tara. Okay, so that goes first. And so look at the first line of page 16 says, complete in an instant of recollection. And that is the way it's done. In Tibetan, it's called Geji Chenzo, which literally just means what it says in English, complete in an instant of recollection, which means that just with one instant of thought, just one split second, you just think, I'm Tara, and you are already Tara. That's what it means. And in its form, its ornaments, and its qualities, everything is complete in you within that thought. That's all. And this is different from another technique, which is, a more elaborate. First you think from out of emptiness, there appears the syllable, C syllable of the deity. In this case, would be Tara, would be Dam, the green Dam letter. And then the light rays go out, making offerings to Buddhas, and then benefiting sentient beings, and then the light rays are absorbed back to you in an instant, not to you, back to the C syllable, and in an instant that syllable transforms into the deity, or in this case, Tara, and that is you, okay? But you don't do all that here. You just think, I'm Tara, and it's done, okay? So from here, you need to think until the end of the sadhana, and even post meditation, you continue to think that I'm the deity. And so think that I am Tara from here onward, and I appear as a noble Jizuma. Jizum means noble, the noble one. Ma is female indicator, so the female noble one, Tara. And second line says, in my heart, above a moon is a green Dham. So that Dham is in Tibetan. You need to think of it in Tibetan, not in English letters. So Dham is, if you look above this line in Tibetan, it's the third syllable from the end that has a little circle above at the top of the letter. That is the letter Dham, C syllable. So that is something you need to remember and recognize when you say it, because if you can't remember the entire mantra, how it's written in Tibetan, at least you should be able to recognize the C syllable, because you're going to visualize that here. And when you think of yourself as Green Tara, you need to think that in your heart is a moon disk, which is like a round disk, which is brilliantly white, in your heart level, in the middle of your chest. And on top of that, standing upright, is the syllable Dham facing the same direction as you, facing out. Okay. And it's green. And then innumerable light rays are projected from that. So light rays go out, and the 21 emanations of Ayatara and the ocean of the three jewels billowing like clouds assemble in the sky in front. So this means that you're inviting, in addition to the front visualization, which is already in front of you from the start, you're going to send light rays out to Bodala, the Pure Land of Tara, and invite the Tara, the real Tara. Not that the ones in front are not real, but you think they're real, but then you think, there are also Taras that are abiding in her pure realm, and you're inviting those Taras to come with your light rays coming out from your heart, syllables, C syllable Dhamma. And there's, accompanying them is also an ocean of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and so on. And continuing third line, this begins the words of invitation. Okay, so first you think that, and you actually begin to invite them. So you say, the unborn luminous expanse of the Dharmakaya, dawn as an unceasing wisdom body of Ayatara, the net of magical illusion that tames everyone. I think this is a very beautiful line. It says, so who's where does Tara come from? And yesterday we talked about there's a historical Tara, who's a lady and who practiced and then became enlightened, and then she became known as Tara. Yes, that you can say that. But here the Tara we are inviting is where does that Tara come from? It says she comes from the unborn luminous expanse of the Dharmakaya. And that dawns as the unceasing wisdom body of Ayatara. So the unborn luminous expanse of the Dharmakaya is what we need to understand. So what is that? What does that mean? The Dharmakaya is also, we've been talking a lot about the nature of the mind. The nature of mind, we say, we'll talk about the nature, and it is wisdom, it is this and that, and whatever else. But another way of understanding that nature is Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya can be understood as the wisdom of all Buddhas, can be understood as the essence of your mind, of everybody's mind, of the Buddha's mind. That Dharmakaya, what is it like when we say Dharmakaya? It says here, it is unborn, it is luminous, and it is an expanse. So you cannot say that, okay, if it's like a bright space, a bright sky, okay, you can, from our conceptual mind, that's the only way we can kind of qualify it, understand it, and to be. Because the space is unborn, we can kind of understand that space does not come from anywhere, right? And the luminous sky, okay, looks like it's very bright and expands. Okay, this space is like, limitless expanse. So what if I understand Dharmakaya to be like that? There is some similarity, but it's not external. That's the only difference. It is not an external expanse. It is not internal either. It's neither outside, it's neither inside either. And it's just an expanse that can only be experienced by the mind itself, because that is the mind. So. Okay, anyway, maybe more confusing than helpful. Okay, so that expands, that Dharmakaya, which is inexpressible, but luminous and infinite. Not externally infinite, okay? And not externally luminous either, but is also not internal. So that is, manifests just spontaneously as the wisdom body of Ayatara. How does it appear? It appears in this manner, the net of magical illusion that tames everyone. So it appears like a magical illusion. It is out of nowhere, and its appearance is also just an illusion, like magic. But it has function. That function is to tame everyone, which means to make everyone, it doesn't mean to make everyone behave. It's just, to make everyone able to go on the path of liberation and eventually be liberated. That's what it means. So that's Tara. That's how we understand Tara and all the deities and all the Buddhas. That's the way they appear, and that's their function, is to bring happiness, ultimate happiness and bliss to all sentient beings. So then with a lot of devotion, you continue to say words of invitation. You say, come here, Ayatara. And you say this with a lot of respect, devotion, and love for them. And you say, I request, conqueror, conqueror of all pleasure, all afflicted devotion, emotions, that you remain here for as long as I present offerings to you out of your kindness to me and all beings and through your miraculous power. So you really, with a lot of, you chant this with almost tears, with a lot of devotion and love for Tara. And then you say, Bema Gamalayastvam, this we have already seen before, this mantra, a lotus seat for you. And this is how you invite deities in any sadhana. You always invite with such devotion and love for the deity that you're almost in tears. I always like to give the story that Khenpo Rinpoche himself told in retreat, that when he was a little child, a little boy, maybe 6 years old, he said his father used to do Manjushri, I think it was Manjushri practice, can't remember, right? And that sadhana also had a section where he would invite the deities to come. And the time Rinpoche was so small, he didn't know what was happening, but he knew that this is a section, where the deities are being invited, and he would be so happy. He would be dancing, oh, the deities are here, and so it's very touching to hear that, because usually when we do sadhana practice, it's like, okay, it's okay, I just chant it, and you don't even believe they're coming, just chant it and whatever, and you can just carry on. But I think genuine practice is not like that. I think genuine practice, you really sincerely invite them, and you think whether you see them or not is not the point. Most of us don't see. So if you have to wait till you see them to believe that, then that's, you can't practice well. So you have to believe, even if you can't see with your flesh and blood eyes, you see in your mind's eye that they actually arrive happily, and they come in front of you in the space in front. And they gaze upon you with their loving eyes, And that's how you should perceive them with your mind. And you're so happy, you can start dancing just like Rinpoche did when he was a child. It should be like that. That's how you carry on your practice every day. And that's how you are so happy every time you do the practice. It's not like a burden, some sort of school work you have to accomplish every day or something like that. It's not. It's something you look forward to, something you enjoy, and something that really brings a lot of benefit to yourself and to all beings. That's how practice should be. Okay, so So you think the Tara and the retinue and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that accompany them are all in the space in front, and they dissolve after you say Pema Kamalaya storm. You think that they dissolve into the frontal deities, the deities that already have been there since the beginning, of the sadhana. They dissolve into them inseparably, just like light mixing with light. And you play music. And if during the chanting were so focused on chanting you couldn't really do the visualization, then you can make it up during the music. When the music is playing, it's the right time to do the invitation and the mixing of the invited deities, wisdom deities, and the frontal deities. The wisdom deities are called Gyanasattva in Sanskrit, and the front visualized deities are called the Samayasattvas. So now that they have become one, then you should give rise to the confidence and faith that what's the deities that are in front are truly Tara. They have been truly Tara from the beginning, and now it's doubly and triply confirmed that they are Tara in front of you. So in front of them, you start to make offerings and praises 3 times. Okay, so there are 3 cycles. The first cycle begins next, second line on page 17. So you say, I feel the Dharma Dhatu with clouds of Samattabhadras offerings actually present and risen from the mind. So that's why you need to have a shrine set up with offerings, because you're saying here, I have, actually present offerings. So unless you really can't, and you're in an environment where it's not easy to set up the offerings. If you're at home, you should have a simple set of offerings, okay? I encourage you to do that if you're going to do this practice. And offerings that are arising from the mind, which is, like I said, more important than the actual offerings. Not that you can just, not that the actual offerings are optional. They're necessary, but they serve as a support for those offerings that arise from the mind, the offerings that you use your mind to make, which is which can be unlimited because your mind is unlimited. The mind, the scope of the mind is unlimited. So you can make unlimited amount of offerings, unlimited variety of offerings, unlimited levels of offerings, all that. Okay, and so the actual offering is presented through this mantra, Om Ayadara Sabarivar. Ayadara, of course, Arya means the noble, and Dara is Tara. Sabarivara means together with your retinue, Sabarira. Benza is Vajra, which means indestructible. So then it's Agamban and Pube, and so on. Chaditsa Soha, just, I forget what Chaditsa means. Anyway, it's a presentation of offering. And you play music at the end of each offering. And this is followed by a mandala offering again, page 18. This is a shorter mandala offering than one that went before. Again, you make this offering with a visualization of all that's worthy of offering in all existence, and holding your mandala mudra. And you say, I offer the embodiment of compassion, the 3 realms, the glory and richness of the environment and its contents. The three realms refer to the three realms of existence, the desire realm, the form realm, and the formless realm. Desire realm is, we are in the desire realm, but actually it also refers to the celestial realms. The lower celestial, there are three basic celestial realms. The desire realm, there are 6 levels. And then the form has, I think, 4 levels, and formless, 8 levels of formless realms. And each is, higher than the other. The formless is the highest celestial realm, in which all the celestial beings there are always in a state of deep samadhi, and they are unable to arise from that samadhi for eons and eons. Okay, so second line says, my body, my possessions, and all virtues is what we offer. I pray that you will accept these and engulf us with your splendor, which means, again, bless us. Om Sawa Tatagata Rana Mandala Buddha Hom, Buddha Ho. Oh, so Om is the beginning of the mantra. Sawa means all, everyone. Tathagata is another name of the Buddha. And Ratna is jewel, mandala is mandala, Uzaho. So you make this mandala offering. And then you go on to chant the 21 praises, which is in green paper. So we'll go into the 21 praises tomorrow, I think. Yeah, we'll go to that tomorrow. Today we'll try to finish the sadhana, the text itself. Okay, so you chant the 21 praises 2 times here. So that finishes the first cycle, the 2 offerings, the 8 offerings, the mandala offering, and the praises. So that's the first cycle. Then you repeat it 2 more times. Same lines on page 19. First, the offering, and then page 20, the mandala. And then you go to the 21 praises. This time you say it 3 times, okay? The 3 times, the praises. Then the third cycle begins on 21. Again, the 8 offerings, the same recitation, exact same words. Page 22 is exact same words for the mandala offering. The exact same recitation as the previous 2 cycles. And then you end page 22 with, again, the 21 praises. This time you chant it 7 times. That's the way it is done traditionally. And the reason for 2, 3, and 7 is because in the commentary, and not in the commentary, in the text itself, if you chant it 2, 3, or 7 times, there will be this, that, and the other benefit. But in the commentary, it is explained that it does not literally mean 2, 3, and 7 times. What it means is if you do 2 times a day, each time you do 3 sessions. So before noon, you do it, we call it 1 time. Afternoon, you call it another time. And the before noon session has 3 sessions. Afternoon session also includes 3 sessions. So that's 2 and 3. And 7 means for each session, you repeat 7 times the praises. So you have 6 sessions a day, right? 6 sessions a day, and each session you should repeat the praises 7 times. So actually what it really means, if you do it a whole day, you should repeat it 42 times. 6 times 7 is 42. That's what it means, according to commentary. Anyway, we do it 2, 3, and 7 here in one session. And forgot to mention, backtracking to page 20, line 2, for the second cycle, where you repeat the praises 3 times, there is a visualization that should be done, and that is described here in the text. Page 20, line 2, at end of the line says, her right hand in the mudra of supreme generosity becomes the mudra of giving protection. I and all to be protected are placed under this and assume an assured protection from all dangers. So, Tara, her gesture is, her hand gesture, the left hand holds a upala flower, and it's held between the thumb and ring fingers like this, okay, in front of her chest. And then so that she's holding the stem of the flower, and then which circles upward to the ear, and then the blossoms here. And the right hand, is like this, holding her palm up like this in a gesture of supreme generosity. And her right leg, of course, is extended, as you can see from the image. So she's not sitting in cross Raja position, such as in the case of White Tara. Green Tara, she's not in full Vajra position. She's half lotus, or Vajra or Bodhisattva posture, slightly extended right leg, and her right hand is like this, right? And here for the second round of praises, you think that from that supreme generosity, all the 21 Taras, their palms turn facing down like this, in a gesture of protection. Okay. And then for the 7 repetitions of the praises, there's another visualization, page 22, last line. Last line of 22 says, from her body, actually more specifically from her right foot, okay? From her right foot, a stream of, because the right foot extended, yeah? A stream of ambrosia descends, entering me and all those to be protected through the tops of our heads. It fills our whole bodies, and all the wavers of her splendor enter into us. So you think that the Tara in front of us, her right foot, maybe mainly from the toe, usually it's visualized from the big toe. But it doesn't say here, so it's whatever, right foot. A stream of Amrita flows down, and it's doesn't, it's, don't think of gravity. If you think it's going to go right down, not to your head. So it's not going to fall on the floor and not touch your head. Think that it's like light, okay? There's no weight and there's no gravity. So it's only in your mind. So where can gravity work? It doesn't work in your mind. So it flows down this way, comes forward down to your head and to all the ones that you care about, to their heads, and comes down from the crown into your body and fills your body. And in that way, her splendor, which means her blessing, enters into us. Okay. And during the 7 repetitions, you just keep thinking that stream of blessing just continues to come down and filling your body and those of the others. Okay, so this is the offering and the praise. When that's all done, then we come to page 23. And this is the section on the quality and benefit for reciting the praises. So it says, anyone who has genuine respect for the goddess and recites this clearly, recollecting it at dawn, upon awakening, and at dusk, will receive protection from all dangers, or their harmful actions will be fully pacified. This just means that the harmful actions caused by those who intend to harm will be pacified. All the bad migrations here means rebirth. You know, the people who do this practice, all their bad rebirths in the future will be conquered. In other words, they will not have bad future rebirths. All the future rebirths will be good. They will quickly attain empowerment by 70 million victors, Buddhas, in other words. Greater than this will be obtained, and finally Buddhahood. So it's not just a practice that we do for protection. It's a practice we do to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Virulent poison, whether abiding in the environment or within beings, whether eaten or drunk, will be dispelled by recollecting this. So that's the benefit in a nutshell. And there's more. The sufferings, so that's page 24 here. The sufferings of afflictions by duns. Dun is a class of spirit that cause harm. Contagion and poison will be totally relinquished. I remember that years ago when I taught Rintara at KTD, I think I've taught it several times at KTD. But anyway, there was one time and we talked about the benefit of doing Tara practice. And one of the students in the class, it was during the winter and there was a lot of snow on the ground. And she was walking outside. And all of a sudden she realized she lost her key. And she was panicked and she was like looking for her lost key everywhere and very worried. And then she remembered what she heard in the class. You know, pray to Tara, and then, you know, she'll help you. So she just a few times. And she looked down in the snow on the ground. She reached her hand and into the snow. There's were her keys. She didn't see the keys in the snow. She just thought, I'll see if it's in the snow. She grabbed it, and there were her keys. It was magic. So she was so excited she had to tell me. That's how. Okay, so continuing on says, line 2, and this is also true for other beings, meaning, you know, not just for you. If you pray for others with the prayers to supplications, Tara, and with the practice, it'll also benefit others. If it is recited twice, 3 times, and 7 times, this is what I was saying, you know, it doesn't literally mean 2, 3, and 7. It means a lot more. It means 42 times total. Those wishing children will obtain children. And this is, I think, Kemakata Rinpoche has a lot of faith in just this, you know, because I've translated for him many times. And people have all sorts of wishes and things they want. And he would always tell them without fail, pray to Tara. If you want children, okay, pray to Tara. You want your children to go do well in school, pray to Tara. And so on and so forth. And he himself also uses Tara as his main prayer. If he's asked to pray for someone, he would pray to Tara. And there's more than once people would come back and tell Rinpoche, it worked, you know. There was a Chinese couple who had tried for a long time, for years, to have children, and just without any success. That's why I remember, if you want children, you can pray to, no success. And so Rinpoche said, okay, pray to Tara, and I will pray to her too. They said, okay. They went back, and then I think they actually, did do the Tara practice. And not long later, they came back happily and say, we're expecting a child. So yeah, it's magical, really. And she came back, again and again to see Rinpoche, and they had a daughter. The daughter is just absolutely adorable, very smart. Um, Another couple also came to Rinpoche, and they're older, like in their 40s, so it's difficult. They already had a son, but they wanted to have a second child. So they came to Rinpoche and said, can you help us have another child? And he said, pray to Tara. And so they did. And again, next year, they came back with a baby boy. Very cute. Very smart also, the gift from Tara, obviously. Okay, so um okay, so those wishing children will obtain children. It says here, those wishing wealth will obtain wealth. All wishes will be fulfilled and all impediments destroyed. Of course, this is all temporary, temporary accomplishment. And this is not ultimately what we are asking Tara for. You know that. So maybe so. And then next section, you go into offering, a different kind of offering, which is called Torma offering. Torma, they're made of a variety of possible ingredients. Anyway, during the lunch break, we were busy making tormas for tomorrow's Tara Puja. So the tormas that you make, or whatever food you can assemble, you set them out usually before the puja begins, or before your personal practice begins, rather than so that you don't have to get up and get things, interrupt your practice and get things together. Now you do it all before. And in a private setting, it's more convenient if those two plates of food are right on your sadhana, your practice table. So you can, and then you have a vessel of clean water with something you can use to dip into the water and sprinkle. So for example, you have these two things of offering, right? And you have another thing of water or something like that. And you say the mantra here at the beginning of 25. Om Benza Amrita Gunjari Hanana Hombe. This mantra appeared earlier in the text already. So it's the mantra of Amrita Gunjari, that protector deity. So you say this mantra, and simultaneously, you need to sprinkle both plates, okay? So one will be offered to the main Tara, 21 Taras. And the second one will be offered to, as it says here, the other ones. And it doesn't specify, actually. But, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and protectors and whatnot. So this you need to do, okay? And even if you're doing it as an individual practice, you don't think that you can skip the offerings. You have to have the offerings. Otherwise, you have nothing that work as a support for your visualization, which is in some occasions, when you don't have anything at all, like, a hotel room or whatever, okay, you just do your visualization without the actual substance. But that's like exceptional circumstance. Under normal circumstances, you should have something that you actually present for your offering. And so then you need to do the visualization again, for this offering. The visualization goes in the second line, it says, from emptiness, from a syllable, which is white in color. It doesn't say, but usually it's om. And from that om arises the best of precious vessels. So the om is transforms into many precious vessels made of precious gems. That's what it means. Inside its vastness. So these are vast vessels, not tiny ones like the ones that you set out on your table or on the shrine. Inside its vastness, from the three syllables which refer to Om, Ah, and Hom. Om is white, Ah is red, and Hom is blue. So from these three syllables arise the toma. In this case, the toma is no longer the toma that you make or the food that you present. This toma is now the undefiled wisdom ambrosia. So the food, the substance, that you present on your shrine or your table here, setting out on your table, works as a support for this visualization, which means that what you are actually offering is the undefiled wisdom ambrosia, an ocean of wisdom ambrosia. Okay. And it's in three colors because, it comes from the syllables Oma and Hom, which are white, red, and blue in color. So it's like a swirling ocean of white, red, and blue, distinctive white and blue, red and blue. And it's vast and infinite, and you think that this is what you're offering, okay? So in your mind, you're thinking this, although, most of the time we think the little bit of food is what we're offering, but we need to go beyond that and think what we're offering is in addition to that little thing there that's presented. There's a much greater, much more excellent offering that's being offered by your mind. And that is how we can accumulate vast amounts of merit in an instant with a very, even a concise offering, like this, because of the power of our mind. That is what really does the trick, because you're thinking not only are the offerings vast, infinite, and most excellent, in this case, you're also thinking, the all the previous offerings, the Akampadin Bubidubin and all that, those are also vast and infinite and most excellent. So everything that you offer in this sadhana, and in fact, in all sadhanas that you do the same sort of visualization. Then the accumulation of merit is very quick and very fast in that way. Compared to someone who also does the same practice, but without any visualization at all, because they have not been taught or they're distracted, so they don't do it, even if they know it. Then comparing the two minds, the one mind that is, faithfully doing all these visualizations sincerely and with no doubt that this is so, that it's vast and so on. And then, so compare that with someone whose mind is just either dwelling in distraction and not doing any kind of visualization, or doesn't know that there is such a thing as visualization. They think practice is just chanting. Comparing these two, that first person with, a lot of devotion, a lot of bodhicitta, and a lot of, true visualization from the mind, that person is going to accumulate a much greater merit. Doing the same sadhana, even if they're sitting side by side, the amount of merit one person gathers from that practice is going to be vast different from the other whose mind is not working the same way. You understand what I mean? Okay. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so you're offering the torma to the 21 taras here. That this is the first offering. And you say Oma home to further consecrate the ocean of Amrita. And you say the offering mantra at the bottom, the third line, Om Aya Dare Sapariwa, together with the retinue. Idam Balinda Kakakai Kahi. Idam Balinda is, the food. Kakakai Kahi is, please enjoy it, please eat. You say this mantra 3 times. Om Ayadari Sabadara Idam Balinda Kakakai Kahi with the Torma mudra, which is very easy. You just cross all 4 fingers except the thumbs. And then snap. So or you can be a little bit fancy and do the, lotus turn. Aya dare saparera idam balinda kakakai kai. Aya dare saparera idam balinda kakakai kai. Aya dare saparera idam balinda kakakai kai. 3 times you think you're offering this great ocean of wisdom amrita. And then you take the first plate and offer it on your shrine. In the case of a puja, then the shrine attendant in the chuyok should take the plate and put it next to the taratoma, which now we have set up the taratoma. You can see the white toma. Can you see in front of the Tara image? There's very fancy. The Lama animated, very, very beautiful and very nice. So put it next to the white taratoma. Don't take it outside, okay? It's supposed to go next to the white tara as a substitute for that torma, because that torma is made to last for a long time, but it cannot be eaten. It's not made of food substance. So you're offering some food. In this case, the torma that's called tepju's, which the little round flat balls. You put that next to the taratoma as a substitute for the entire torma, which would take a long time to make, so not practical. So you put it up on your shrine and you come back to your seat and do the second mantra, second offering, page 26, first line. Om agaro mukam sawa damanam ade numena dada oma hompe soha. So again, you do the toma offering, mudra and snap 3 times. This time, take the second plate out, second thing of food. And this, you need to take it outside if it's convenient. If it's not, then you can set it on the shrine somewhere, preferably lower than the level of the torma, the car torma. If you don't have 3 levels, and the top level is the tower image, and the middle level is the tower torma, and the lower level is a place where you can put the second plate up. But if you don't, then just put it somewhere on the side of the shrine, and you can take out the torma after the puja is finished. So the way to do it is you need to, if you take it out, you need to have like a small pitcher so you can easily hold it, and hold the pitcher in your left hand and hold the torma in your right hand, the torma plate. Like, let's say this is torma plate. Hold it up a little high like this, and there's a torma. This is gardo. Gardo is offered here, or a plate of food, whatever you have. And then you need to have a little pitcher here in your right hand. So one's held high, the torma is held high, and the pitcher is held low. You go out and you throw the torma out. Pour some water into the plate, and you throw it out as an offering as well, because it's offering of rinse water. and you come back and you take the torma plate like this, facing front rather than facing up, facing the front. And come back with the plate and the pitcher, and then set it down on the lower level of the shrine. Okay. That's if you go out to throw it out. If you don't have a place to throw it out, do we have a place to throw them out here? Oh, okay, good. Down the stairs. Right. Very good. Okay. So you can't come in.
Which tournament is the second?
Car door. Yeah.
Now I'm supposed to put in the, right now, after playing the 4-line Naga, the 4 phrase Naga. offering.
So that it can become a Naga offering as well.
Put it in right after the Carl.
Right. It's his request, but and you can do it here. But just so you know, it's not traditional. Right. Okay. Okay, so this second torma is offered for the other guests, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors, and so on. Okay, so with that second torma, which is also offered to all the protectors, you make this request on line 2, page 26. Consider this sacred torma of torma offering, sacred torma offering. Oh, okay. And generosity with great wisdom and accepted with great pleasure. I pray that you will bestow all cities without exception. Okay, so this request is actually made to all of them, all the Taras, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas and protectors. Again, you make an offering with Argamba and Pupe and so on. Same mudras. Next comes a supplication. So this is a request. So it's like, I made these offerings and please accept. And then having accepted them, please grant me blessings, something like that. So first you pay homage and then praise them. And then there's a request. So 27, you say, I pay homage to and praise you, Ayatara of Amitabha's Padma family, Padma family, Lotus family, because there are, in general, if we divide all the Buddhas into different families, there are 5 Buddha families, and Amitabha belongs, or he's the lord of the Lotus family or Padma family, and Tara, because the lord of her family is Amitabha, so she also belongs to the Padma family. You who arose from the face of Lokeshwara, this means that Tara is an emanation, or she appeared from the tears of Avalokiteshvara, Jerazik. Because at one point, Jerazik, had been dedicated to helping and liberating sentient beings for eons and eons. And then one day he looked around, oh my goodness, there are still infinite beings that have not been liberated. And so he felt a little bit discouraged and started to shed tears. And so I forget which one, but anyway, one side of her eye, the tears became white Tara, and the other side of the tears became green Tara. So that's one story of the appearance of Tara. You who embody the activity of all Buddhas, with supreme faith I pay homage to and praise all who are worthy of praise and bow with as many bodies as there are particles in all realms. So first you chant this, the homage and praise, and then you join your palms. Actually, the first two lines is also chanted with joined palms. Here again, Jason Ayatara and your retinue consider me kindly with non-referential compassion, which means impartial, and non-referential means not just impartial, but also the compassion in her mind is inseparable from emptiness. That's why it is non-referential. When she helps beings, she's not thinking, I'm me and you're you, and I'm helping you. There's no concept of me and you, being two different identities. That's what it means. Engulf me with splendor, bless me, is what it meant. That what I request may be accomplished without impediment, and so on. I think the rest is easy to understand. This is just a supplication. And that goes to the end of page 29. Then page 30 is the dissolution of frontal visualization. Here you need to do the visualization that the frontal visualization melts into light and dissolves into me. Engulfed with her splendor, we are in undifferentiated. I have become Ayatara, appearance with no nature. So with that visualization, so you chant that, you do the visualization, you think that all the 21, all the 20 taras dissolve into light and mix with the central figure, the green tara. And green tara dissolves into light and dissolves into you. And you remaining, you have been thinking you are Tara. So again, you remain as Tara. And with that confidence that I am Tara, but it is an appearance with no nature, which means, as nature being emptiness, you recite the mantra, Om Dare Dudare Dure Soha. So you recite this mantra with the pride of yourself being Tara, not the mundane kind of pride, but pride here refers to your confidence, and that you are Tara. And doing it as a daily practice, you can recite the mantra 108 times. And then if you're doing a Tara retreat, for example, the minimum number of mantra that you should accumulate is 1 million. The way you calculate it for any deity mantra practice that you want to accomplish is that the minimum is 100,000 times the number of syllables in the mantra. So because this is a 10 syllable mantra, so 100,000 times 10 is 1,000,000, correct? Yeah. So if you want to say, do a Tara retreat and you want to accomplish the mantra, minimum number of mantras required for this practice, then it will be 1,000,000. And same for White Tara because it's the same mantra. And generally, you get a break. It's 6 syllables, so 600,000. Okay. Okay, so you say this mantra, and then at the end, you on page 31, you say the 100 syllable mantra 3 times, ringing bell at the same time, holding let's say this is Vajra, you hold the Vajra vertically at your heart. And there are different ways of doing it. Some, we were taught to do it this way, but, many others would just hold the Vajra just the regular way, or maybe, like a half prayer mudra, something like that. Anyway, the main thing is you ring the bell as you say the 100th mantra. Finally, you're going to confess any errors that you may have made during the practice. So last line on page 31, I request that you forgive whatever defects there are in what I have done here, whatever has been incomplete, imperfect, and whatever I have been unable to do. You confess. And page 32 is kind of a grayed out, as it has a little gray background. This is because we normally don't chant this page. The reason being that here it's requesting to depart. What you chant here is requesting to depart. We don't normally request the deities to depart. So that's why we don't ask them to depart. The only time that you would chant this instead of the next page, which is requesting to remain, is if you are someplace else, and let's say you're blessing a new house which is empty, and you just temporarily set up a very simple shrine. At the end of that puja, you're going to collect everything and you're going to pack up and go, including the image. So before you pack the image up, you need to request the deity to depart. That's probably the only reason and time that you would say this. Instead of requesting to remain, you're requesting the deity to remain in the image. You request the deity to depart. But anyway, we don't chant it. So you skip that and you go to 33 and request the deities to remain. For the duration of samsara, please abide together with this support. This support means the image, whatever image you have, the tanka, the statue, or the picture. So you're requesting the image to remain in the support, in the image. And that is why we treat all the images with respect, because we have done practices that have requested the deities to remain with and in the image. So they're the actual, representation of the deity, not just some sort of art, or just some sort of empty image. They do represent, in appearance and in substance, the deity. So we need to treat them with respect. And then you say, please bestow health, longevity, and all that is excellent and supreme. The deity and my mind are undifferentiated. I rest in the natural state, the Dharmadhatu. So here, after saying this, you spent, however long or short you can to rest your mind in its natural state, which is the Dharmadhatu. And arising from that meditation, you say the final dedication on page 34. Through this virtue, may I quickly accomplish Ayatara and establish all beings without exception in that state. So that is the whole point for doing the practice, so that you can establish all beings without exception in the state of Ayatara. And then finally, the last two lines are the auspicious verses, the Dashi. This, I think, is clear. I don't need to read it. Anyway, so that completes the practice just about. And then there's more to chant, more aspirations to chant, which is, I think, easy to understand. So we don't have much time, so I'm not going to go into it this time. You can just chant the final aspiration prayer from 36 to the end. Okay, I think we're gonna conclude here. Yeah, it's 3:30. Time's up. I have to be very exact with the time, otherwise people would be antsy, like, let me go. It's time. Okay, so I'm happy to share this practice with you. And tomorrow morning, there's no Tara class, there's just a general talk. Of course, you're all welcome to come for that. That's 11:30 to 12:30, right? And there's Tara Puja from 8 to 9 some. Okay. Are there actually people who are coming for interview? Ah,
My laptop for you to Zoom, and John's gonna have a laptop to let people in the room that come late. And then there'll be people in the room.
okay.
Hopefully, I'll be in the room tomorrow.
I think you should, if you have learned the practice, you should at least do it once, no?
And it's your call if you need to shorten it, and it's also your call whether we usually do smoke offering after we make.
We'll see if there's time. Do you use charcoal or is the electric plate?
Just put a stick of incense out in a hand.
Aw. I'll talk to you about that. It is. I mean, it's better than nothing. It's true. I mean, like we've been saying, the support is important, but we have to have the support. But the visualization is the key. Okay, so hope we'll see you at 8 o'clock. Oh my gosh, 8 o'clock. Okay.
Start right up the dot, because if you're late, you just have to come in and start wherever we are.
That's true. Oh, I forgot today. Remind me tomorrow. I should do it tomorrow at the very beginning. Otherwise, oh. Okay, everybody will be here tomorrow? 2 o'clock. Yeah. You already have it, so.
So are we gonna set the room up separate, differently tomorrow for the music, or just like?
I don't know how you usually,
Usually, there's only symbols because I have no one to play drum.
I can play drum. Oh, no, or I can jump on. Yeah, we can
So
have.
we have symbols for you,
Mhm.
with the chant leader, and then some of us have bells.
okay. Yeah, if you have a set of bell and torch, you should bring it, okay? Because everyone during the music should play the bell. And I'll briefly tell you how to ring the bell and hold the doja in the beginning, which I intended to do. I forgot. So good thing we have a push out. Can do it.
Session tomorrow. Two questions.
Yes, I'll quickly go over the 21 praises, and then hopefully there's still time, for Q&A. That's the plan. And also for the reading transmission. Oops. May not have time to cover all the 21 praises in detail, just kind of have to gloss over it quickly, probably. All right, so education, please.